Hello sir, now I am going to tell you 5 React related interview question with answer. My first question is, why will you select React.js? Or there are so many different JavaScript frameworks. Why will you use React.js for your application? My answer is, flexibility is the main reason for selecting React.js. Other reasons are React.js is much easier to learn and use compared to a framework like Angular. It has a huge ecosystem of library, SEO friendly, serves as reusable component, easy to test, and so on. And these are the reason for selecting React.js. My second question is, what is virtual DOM? What are the difference between virtual DOM and real DOM? And my answer is, DOM manipulation is an integral part of any web application, but DOM manipulation is quite slow when compared to other operations in JavaScript. The efficiency of the application gets affected when several DOM manipulations are being done. To solve this problem, React came up with Virtual DOM. Virtual DOM is like a lightweight copy of the actual DOM. So, for every object that exists in the original DOM, there is an object for that in React Virtual DOM. It is exactly the same, but it does not have the power to directly change the layout of the document. So each time there is a change in the state of our application, the virtual DOM gets updated first instead of the real DOM. This new virtual DOM tree is then compared with the previous virtual DOM tree and make a note of the changes. After this, it finds the best possible way to make these changes to the real DOM. Now, only the updated element will be rendered on the page again. The difference between virtual and real DOM is that a virtual DOM does not have the power to directly change the layout of the document. And another difference is manipulating the real DOM is slow, but manipulating the virtual DOM is much faster because nothing gets drawn on screen. Okay, the second portion of this question is, what is the deep algorithm? How does it work? My answer is, in React, the deep algorithm is the algorithm that compares virtual DOM with actual DOM and makes a note of the changes. But how does it work? Well, it works in an interesting way. When new elements are added into the UI, it created a tree called a virtual DOM tree. Each element is a node on this tree. If the state of any of these elements changes, a new virtual DOM tree is created, then it compares both of them, and this is how the deep algorithm works. My third question is, difference between props and state. My answer is, the data is passed from one component to another component is called props, but state is known to contain data or information about the components. Props are immutable, which means they cannot be modified, but state is mutable. Props are read-only. On the other hand, state sense can be asynchronous. Props can be accessed by the child component, but state cannot be accessed by the child component. The other portion of this portion are, how will you pass data from parent to child? Can you change props? Is props read only? And my answer is, I will pass data from parent to child via props. Uh, and the React philosophy is that props, that is the read only and top down, which means that data coming from the parent should not be changed by child components. And yes, props are read only. My fourth question is, what is a context API? How does it work? Well, if we want to pass props from grandparent to parent to child and so on, then we have to pass props down manually at every level, which is known as props dealing. But there is an alternative way, and that is context API. Context API provides a way to pass data through the components tree without having to pass props down manually at every level. The React Context API is a way for a React app to effectively produce global variables that can be passed around. React.context text API is all we need. My fifth question is, what is JSX? How does it work? Well, JSX stands for JavaScript XML. JSX provides us a system to write HTML-like element in JavaScript. Fundamentally, JSX just provides a synthetic sugar for the React.createElement function. JSX converts HTML tag into React element. Whenever a code is written in JSX, Babel transcompile the code into JavaScript code. So from this we can say, when we write HTML-like element in React, then behind the screen the code is transferred into JavaScript code, and this is known as JSX. And that's all from me. Thank you very much, sir.